Good morning. Welcome to another episode of the Sean Farrell podcast. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. Jesus Christ is Lord. Let's jump right into it. Let's get right into it. So today talking about a few things. How to inform young people of a suicide. Okay? So the first thing you can do, you can start by telling them the truth. Start with an honest, age-appropriate explanation of what happened to the person who died, using short and simple sentences. Telling children and teens the truth, using developmentally appropriate words is the best way to help them begin to process the loss. Second thing you can do is don't wait. If your child is young, your first inclination may be to protect them from this terrible news. However, the best way to protect your child is by telling them the truth as soon as possible to make sure they hear it from you first. Okay. The other thing that you can do is choose a safe space. Find a place to talk that feels safe and familiar for the child. For many children and teens, this will be their home. But if that's where the person died, home may no longer feel safe. So consider consider a relative, a family, or a friend's house instead. Avoid graphic details, okay? Share information honestly, but without talking at length about the specific method or going into graphic detail. Instead, try to focus on how to cope with feelings of sadness, loss, or anger. Let the child's questions guide your answers. Okay? So those are some of the ways you can help children and teens with suicide loss. Okay? And so the last week I talked about cops and how difficult their job is. Well, I was thinking about the situation out in California, and God bless all those first responders, the firefighters who are out there fighting those fires. May God bless you all, and also prayers up for the whole city of LA where those wildfires are happening. Again, may God bless you all, the first responders. EMS workers and ambulance workers. I just want to continue the conversation about first responders. Okay. But this time it's focusing more on ambulance workers and emergency service workers. Okay. EMS workers and ambulance workers, they're at high risk of mental health issues. There was a 2018 review that found that 15% of first responders experience anxiety, 15% of them experience depression, and 11% of them experience PTSD. Paramedics have higher rates of PTSD than other emergency services such as police and firefighters. Okay. EMS workers have higher rates of suicide. Poor sleep quality and sleep disorders are associated with mental health issues and EMS workers. EMS workers also experience high rates of job-related burnout. Okay. They also experience increasing incidents of on-the-job injuries. EMS workers may not disclose their mental health struggles. Why? Because of fear of being treated differently by superiors, fear of being seen as weak by co-workers, concern that it may hinder future promotion opportunities. And so I also saw this too. There are a few numbers that can help. That is the Load Fire /EMS helpline. Load Fire /EMS helpline. The number for that would be 1-888-731-FIRE. 1-888-731-FIRE. 3473. Okay. 1-888-731-3473. And there's another number. Okay. It's called Safe Call Now. Safe Call Now. 206-459-3020. 206-459-3020. One more time. 206-459-3020. Okay. And so, somebody said to me a few weeks ago, working on the, working as a, crisis worker 4988, they said it was a, thankless job. And yes, sometimes it is a thankless job. Okay. I guess we fall into that category of, thankless jobs like cops, first responders, firefighters. In some ways, it can be a thankless job. Yes. Working on a 988 crisis line can be a thankless job, but it's also at the same time rewarding too. So I say it's a 50-50 balance between being a thankless job, and 50% being a good job. The 50% good job being that knowing that you save some lives, and the other 50% being the ones that you do all you can to help. But something that I learned taking a suicide prevention course is one of the more sombering and saddening things about working in suicide prevention. Okay, you can do everything right. You can say the right things, give them the right tips, but at the end of the day, it's their decision to make. Okay, so that's one of the sad things about working in suicide prevention. You can say all the right things, do all the right things, but at the end of the day, it's their decision. And so, knowing that, yes, it can be a thankless job. Okay, but that's what we sign up for. Okay, that's what we sign up for. All right, that's it, and that's all for the Sean Farrell podcast. I'm out of here. May God bless you all. Peace.